Claire Schofield is the Associate Dean at the Faculty of Business and Management at the University of Chester, but her background has been really in enterprise, entrepreneurship, trying to get a kind of engagement during education that certainly in the business debate is identified as lacking. So Claire, over to you, and then we'll see, we'll have some comments from David, and we'll open it up to the floor again and see how much of this connects and whether there is agreement or disagreement, and take it from there. So Claire.
Okay, thank you very much. For those that are PowerPoint fans, we're back into a safe space, so there's lots of PowerPoints to look at, pretty pictures, and they're pictures of my campus in Chester. So as Neil said, my name's Claire Schofield, and I'm a Professor of Enterprise at the University of Chester and Associate Dean of our Faculty of Business and Management. A little bit about our university for those that don't know. We offer 477 courses to about 18,000 students in the UK and with various international partners, and we're organised into 8 faculties across Chester and the surrounding area. It's a Church of England institution founded in 1839, and it's part of the Cathedrals Group, and I think we've got some other members here today. So that's an association of 16 universities and university colleges. So I joined Chester in February 2015 as it prepared to launch the UK's newest university, University Centre Shrewsbury. And I'm on the management board of that organisation as it prepares to welcome its second cohort of undergraduates. They'll be moving some postgraduates for a little while. And we mentioned Harper Adams, and it's an institution that's in Shropshire, the county that Shrewsbury's based, which is a cold spot for higher education, which is why it was set up. But prior to joining Chester, I was at Manchester Metropolitan University, a very different institution, for 15 years. And I was Deputy Director of a large research and enterprise centre, working with various people, students, our undergraduates and postgraduates, but a lot of business owners and business leaders. So I used this experience really to reflect on what I was going to talk about today. So, I'm going to frame this presentation, my 12 minutes, into 4 areas. The challenge of business, to set the context. The case for skills, to see kind of the historical direction of travel. To identify which skills we could be referring to, and to examine the skills that are relevant to a business education. I'm going to pick up some Anthony's themes that he's touched upon in his presentation. So you'll see there the quote that I've put up, which is from the founder of the World Economic Forum. The world is experiencing one of the most extraordinary periods in history. However, the world of work is continually changing. If I were to ask you, over the last 20 years, has the business environment become more turbulent, less turbulent, or has there been no change? What would you say? Give you a moment to reflect. But whatever your belief, there is turbulence, and it's coming from a number of sources. And in terms of sources, the headlines will not come as a surprise to you. They're very well documented. The first we've heard about today, globalisation, political power shifts, financial crises, there's been a few, rapid new technology developments, demographics and population change. There are cultural changes, ways that we seek to live our lives, and the environment, sustainability agenda. And these create various challenges for business and organisations, because doing business is a challenge. What we do know is that some businesses lack the knowledge, skills and resources to achieve their full potential. And in my LEP area, Local Enterprise Partnership area, Cheshire and Warrington, their latest skills report found that between 2011 and 2025, there's going to be a significant increase in the demand for skills, particularly higher level skills, level 3 and above. There's going to be significant demographic changes, decline in the workforce because of ageing, and a limited growth in the number of people aged 20 to 40 with graduate level qualifications. The localism agenda that runs through the government's economic development and skills policy promotes the idea that local people and businesses know what skills are needed in their area. However, the lack of leadership and management skills prevents some businesses from identifying the skills they need and taking action to address them. And that puts them at risk of not having the right skills to plan ahead to meet the local, let alone the global trends that will affect them. It is our role as a business school to work with them to identify strategies to meet these complex challenges. The case for skills. The case for developing people with an understanding of the need to be lifelong learners is very clear. The case for skills development is strong, and you'll see on the slide there, for those that like to do a bit of background reading, that there's been a range of different initiatives, papers, reports that have been looking since '97, probably way before that, at this particular agenda. And together with a series of reports from HEFGE, they've articulated precisely the same concerns regarding the need for higher education to be more responsive to the needs of the UK economy and society in general. More recently, the 2016 white paper that we all know and love is peppered with references to skills, and there will soon be a new skills plan with the whole education and training system focused on its implementation. There are multiple references to skills gaps and future skills needs, and the role that higher education must play in addressing these. Business schools have very diverse learning communities, as those who work in them will know. And they include domestic and international students. There are those planning their first career and others wanting to accelerate their career development. In many cases, there are also business owners seeking to grow and develop their ventures and their people. So the range of skills that we are required to identify and address is vast. So which skills do employers need? Well, the UK Commission for Employment and Skills, Employer Skills Survey in 2011, found that 81% of employers rate employability skills as the most important factor when assessing potential candidates. So which skills did the survey respondents say candidates were missing? Well, they were the usual: planning and organisational skills, good customer service, oral and written communication skills, and problem solving, and there were several others. By their 2013 survey, the proportion of vacancies in the UK that employers found hard to fill due to skills shortages had increased markedly from 16% in 2011 to 22% in 2013. We heard a little bit about that earlier on this morning. This, they argue, suggests increased employer competition and demand for skills, and highlights the potential for skills shortages in the labour market to act as a brake on economic recovery. According to the CBI, their 2012 skills survey revealed that 1 in 5 jobs will require a degree-level qualification. And again, 81% of employers said that employability skills were the most important when recruiting. And 61% want to increase the business relevance of our courses. They argue weaknesses in graduates include team working, problem solving, and work experience. The Chambers of Commerce 2014 Workforce Survey found that 76% of businesses said the lack of work experience was the reason for the skills gap. They claim that young people are unprepared for work. So what are business schools doing to address this apparent skills gap? In the Chartered Association of Business Schools 2014 report, Building the Leadership Capacity of UK Business Schools, Nottingham Trent University Business School Dean argued the case for systematic business engagement directly from business school leadership to ensure robust ways of applying theory to practice. Nottingham Trent, like the University of Chester, have invested in work-based learning as a method of achieving this. The business school curriculum needs to be relevant, add value, and to blend theory with practice, and it must also include specific knowledge: finance, people, marketing, strategy. And that's got to be combined with analytical, soft, and problem-solving skills. The University of Chester, like some others, have been adopting approaches to curriculum development that have involved developing the means to accredit learning that occurs through and in the workplace. This meets the needs of learners in organisations, but also enables academics to have access to current business practices and learn from the front line in business about their aspirations and current challenges. At Chester, the majority of Level 5 students undertake a compulsory work-based learning experiential module in May. And last year, the team placed 1,640 students in a 5-week placement, most of them in the UK, from the Outer Hebrides to Essex, all over the country. A lot of them, though, in the northwest around our institution. So it's a huge operation. Work-based learning allows students to apply academic subject knowledge in a work setting, and it develops practical work-related skills such as project management, decision-making, negotiating, and teamwork. These are the employability skills that will underpin the lifelong employability and prospect of our students. This experience has proven to be the essential building block in the development of the first degree apprenticeship programme that we will launch in the autumn. We have a Centre for Work-Related Studies with a very specific learning framework that has been in place for about 27 years, so we've had a great grounding in this. So they were my 4 themes. I look forward to joining you in the panel discussion.
Okay, thank you very much.